Hi, I'm Giselle Aguiar, the AZ social media whiz, and I've been doing internet marketing since 1995. But my background covers retailing, hospitality, travel, tourism, sales, publishing, as well as traditional marketing and advertising. Today's digital marketing is complex. There are a lot of parts to it. Just like a machine, some parts can break and not work right. So you have to determine what's wrong before you can fix it. So, what if your efforts don't work? You're trying, you think you're doing everything right, but your analytics are telling you that something's not working. First, you're not getting any sales or leads. So, first thing you have to do is identify the problem. So, if you're getting reach, that means people are seeing your post, whether you're paid post on social media or organic or non-paid posts, but they're not clicking through, then it's the wrong message or the wrong audience. If they're clicking to your website, somebody in. Okay, so if they're clicking to your website, but they aren't doing anything, you then it could be several different things on your website, and we're going to cover all of the possible scenarios that can possibly happen here. So hello, Jim, welcome, or JM, not sure. Please stay muted until we get to the end of the presentation, and then I'll open it up for questions. So basically this is it. So either you're getting reach, but they're not clicking through from your ads or your social media posts, or you're getting clicks to the website, but they're not converting. You want to convert every visitor to your website into a lead or a sale. So it could be different things on your website. Okay, so scenario one, you're getting reach, but no clicks. So in this case, people are seeing your ad, organic or paid, either way, but they're not clicking on the links. They're not engaging. They're not liking. They're not sharing. They're not commenting. They're not doing anything. Scenario two is that you're getting clicks and traffic to your website, but you have no sales or conversions. That is, visitors are not doing what you want them to do, like download your freebie or join your email list or buy something. So fixing the problem. So it could be that the message doesn't match the audience. It could be your website is ugly or doesn't function as it should. And believe me, I've seen a lot of ugly websites. Or it could be gorgeous and doesn't function the way it should. Or the landing page can be too distracting. And I'll talk about what a landing page is. Or the call to action, or the CTA, the call to action, is not clearly visible. That's what you want them to do: download, buy, join. What do you want them to do? Register. Or there's no follow-up. So let's go through these. Okay, so you have the right message to the wrong audience, the wrong message to the wrong audience, or the wrong message to the right audience. Okay, it might seem a little tongue twisting here, but that's the problem. So you want the right message to the right audience. Okay, so this was a client I worked with some time ago, and this is a Facebook post. So by looking at this Facebook post, who do you think was their best customer? And you can just write it in the chat. Who do you think is their best customer? Take a guess. Sick people. Okay. How about age? Young people, right? Larry, you got it. Older people. That was their best customer. But the image is of a millennial, but their best customers were over 45. Okay, and that's exactly the problem. And then they came to me and goes, well, why isn't it working? I says, well, you got the wrong picture there. It's like, I'm 45. I'm never going to look like her again. Not in this lifetime anyway. So we're going to go through different fixes to all these little problems. So you want to look at your social media insights. Each of the social networks offers insights or analytics, depending on which network you are or what they call it. They are available for free. Okay, they're all part of their advertising programs, but they are free. And you need at least 100 followers on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to start getting analytics. Obviously, if you don't have followers, there's nothing to analyze. So, so one of the things you want to look at is the demographics: age, gender, location, etc. Now, Lara, you're trying to reach people in Texas. Okay, so if you see that the majority of the people following you on Facebook are from outside of Texas, then you need to rethink your, who you're reaching and how you're reaching them. And then which types of posts got the most engagement? Okay, so this gives you a lot of data. So, which post got likes, shares, clicks, or comments? And if you did paid advertising, how did you select your audience? Okay, because sometimes, like Facebook or Instagram or whichever network you're on, they try to pick the audience for you based on keywords. Sometimes that doesn't work as great as you would expect it. But so it's better for you to manually pick your audience by location, age bracket, interest, etc. So those are the people who are going to see your ad if you're doing paid advertising. Sometimes the first choice is not the best choice. So you do want the best reach for your buck, your advertising dollar here. But if the choice is a tighter marketing niche, you'll get better results. So it's better to reach like 100 people that is exactly who your target audience is than 1,000 people just to be a wider audience and get in front of more people. That may be wasting your money in that sense. Okay, so if you try to reach everybody, you'll get nobody. So again, for instance, if the wheatgrass company wanted to expand their reach with paid ads to reach millennials, they could use that Facebook post, but they need to narrow the audience people to under 40. So rather than all ages, and sometimes that simple choice can make a difference. So clearly define your target audience. So who's your target market? And you can have more than one. Okay, so what are their pain points or problems that your product or service will solve or alleviate? So research your target audience. So what resonates with them? Usually it's saving money or saving time. Those are the big ones. And we'll talk about different things too, but look at the age bracket or generations. You talk to a millennial differently than you talk to a baby boomer. So which social media networks do they frequent the most? And you can't skip doing your research. For instance, for the wheatgrass company, after doing research, I came up with 2 distinct targets. One says, I'm healthy and I want to stay healthy person. So more than likely millennial or older, but a health conscious person. They're educated and prefer organic and natural foods. They're also price conscious and will compare prices and products. The second one is the I need to get healthy person. Over 40 with more than one chronic health problem. Based on that, the organic post, the organic post should be a combination of both. Any paid ads should reflect the exact target. Okay, so what type of business are you? B2C is business to consumer. So your main customer is the average consumer who would buy your products or hire your services. And you could have more than one persona. Okay, so what are their interests, desires, wants, and needs? What are their pain points? How have they changed lately? Okay, in the last few years, lots of stuff has changed. So what apps are they using? What social media networks are they in? Then B2B, business to business. Your main targets are other businesses, but you still have to deal with people in that business. So who is the decision maker? Now, this person becomes your consumer. So what's their size, location, goals, or objectives? What's their main service or product? Most important, what is their problem or pain point that you're going to solve? How are you going to make their lives easier, more productive, or successful? How has the current crisis, whatever it is, or the economy affected them? Maybe you want to reach businesses that are thriving in the crisis and need help with the sudden demand. Okay, and a company can have both B2B and B2C targets. So consider what percentage is business and consumer so you can split your marketing efforts accordingly. Next question is, are you on the right network? Excuse me. So, and you learn this by doing target market research and checking your analytics monthly. Don't set up a profile on a social network if you're not going to use it. I find that a lot with Twitter in specific. Okay, it's worse if someone clicks on your profile and sees nothing there, or if they see that the last time you posted was over a year ago. That hurts your reputation. And unfortunately, that is a major problem. You know, for instance, a client of mine, I was working with him this week. I go to his LinkedIn profile, and he's a B2B person. And so I went to where it says contact info, and I clicked on his Twitter, and I get this account doesn't exist. And I was like, really? Really? Okay. And I called him out on it, and it says, okay. He goes, oh yeah, and I had another one. And so then I looked at that account, and that one was there, and I go, you need to change your LinkedIn profile. All right. So when you have little mistakes like that, it looks sloppy. Okay. And you're a professional, you're in business. So you want to make sure that all of your social networks look good. It's part of your branding. Okay. And same thing if you have links on your website to social networks. So make sure they are going to your network, that they are going to networks where you are posting and you're active. And if you're not active, if you're not going to post on Twitter, then don't be on Twitter. Okay. Same thing with Instagram. Most B2B businesses do not need to be on Instagram. Okay. Instagram is a lot of work. So, and if you want to know about Instagram, I have a video. It's on my YouTube channel that I did about Instagram. It's a lot of work. So you want to, if you're B2B, you want to focus on LinkedIn first, Twitter to get that exposure to, and then Facebook will be a secondary network. Okay, if you're B2C, you want to be on Facebook, you want to be on Pinterest, you want to be on Instagram. Okay, so you should have a presence on LinkedIn just for credibility, trust and credibility, but you don't have to spend that much time on it. But LinkedIn users are sophisticated consumers. So you might want to think about that when you're looking at who your target audience is. So the message. So now you need to make sure that you're crafting the right message to the right audience. So if your posts or ads were getting reach and no one was clicking on them, then it was scenario one. What's the right message? Well, here's where your research comes in. So what is the pain point that you can solve for your target? You have 7 seconds to catch someone's attention online. And as a result, you need quality, eye-catching videos or graphics. Visuals, everything's visuals, like everything's video now. Okay. Furthermore, test your ads or promotional graphics and videos with friends, colleagues, or even a business mentor to get an objective opinion. Make sure if you use people in your ads or videos that they reflect your target market. For instance, don't use a picture of a young, healthy gal when you're catering to people over 45 with a health product. Okay. Okay. A better message. Okay, so these are just tips on, okay, so not everybody is a good writer, and that's okay. The good news is there are a lot of free resources online to help you. Okay, here's some tips. So use action words, commands. For instance, learn more rather than visit website. Okay, create a sense of urgency, right? So fear of missing out, FOMO. Okay, so it's there's only a few seats left, so please grab your seat now. There's only a few. This sale is on through X. It's only 2 weeks. Okay, you need to buy it and get it now. Fear of missing out. Okay, so like only a few left in stock. Limited time offer. Limited to 50 participants. Okay, and then state the problem and how you fix the problem. Okay, state the pain. How do you alleviate it? Okay, I'm working with a natural medicine and detox. So they work with literal pain points that they're alleviating from people. So that's one of the things that I want to put. So what are the benefits of going and using their infrared sauna, for instance, right? So weight loss, joint pain reduction. Oh, that's a big one, and so you want to make sure that that's in the ad, okay, in their posts visible. so that it's right there, and people can say, oh man, really, she can help my knee pain? Oh wow, I got to go try this. Okay, so that's it. That's what you need to put in your messages out there. Okay, again, the benefits. So they're thinking, what's in it for me? Okay, how can you help me? How can you alleviate my pain? If you're in health and wellness, that's what people are searching. They're searching for the symptoms and how to fix the problem. Okay, so or whatever, basic whatever that is. Okay, I need to fix this problem. How do I fix it? And so then, what is your unique selling proposition? Which means what makes you different than the other person that's doing it. Okay, so for instance, Lara, from what I've talked with you, you're providing a service that really doesn't exist, or that a lot of people aren't aware of, that can benefit them. So you want to get those benefits out there. Okay, video. So explain your benefits in the first 15 seconds. Okay, so that's one of the things. And something too is when you're doing graphics, don't put a lot of text in the graphics. Just focus on large text. I mean, just think about how you scroll through Instagram, for instance, or Facebook. You're just scrolling, and you'll stop in the ones that catch your eye for whatever reason. Certain colors catch your eye, movement catches your eye, and those are the ones you want to look at. Okay, you're not going to read, especially in the Instagram story, it only stays in front of you for like 15 seconds. Okay, so you're not going to read like 5 paragraphs of text. You're just not. So you want to just highlight the benefits of what it is that you're offering in there. Then the other one is storytelling. All right, so you can do customer testimonials, use user-generated content, which that means that a happy camper customer just takes a picture or messages you or posts something, tags your business on it, or uses one of your hashtags. Okay. Or you can do hypothetical situations, like "don't let this happen to you" kind of thing. But storytelling is a great thing, and you could do it as a blog, you could do it as videos, or a series of graphics. I've seen those on Instagram too. Okay, so another problem, the lousy user experience. Now we're going over to the website. Okay, so this is a major problem that a lot of people don't realize it's a major problem. A lot of times when people create a website, they think it's beautiful, but the potential customer doesn't, can't get around it. So you need to put yourself in your target market's shoes. Okay, the UX, the user experience, is everything a potential customer touches from their initial website visit to the conversion, whatever it is you want them to do. So check your website and UX in all web browsers and mobile devices to make sure that everything looks and works well. Your website is your 24/7 salesperson. Okay, even if you don't get people signing up directly through you can send them to a link where they can go through whatever it is to sign up for what you do. Okay. Their buying journey must make sense. Not everybody is ready to buy at when they first discover you. Some people may want to check you out and look at reviews and different things, see other articles that you've written, and some people will email you with questions or contact you on social media. I had a client who had a problem on their website and they couldn't book. And where did they go? They went to Facebook to message. Okay. Yesterday I was working with a client and I couldn't get, they were having a problem with this third-party tool that they were using, and the only way I could message them was through Facebook. And they were like in Europe somewhere, and so I'm like, well, I'm not going to get an answer today. So this morning I got a response from them. So so that's one of the things you want to make sure that you're contacting people and they have a good experience. So you also want to have, especially if you're writing blogs, have an internal search function. Also, if you're e-commerce, obviously, so people want to search for specific products that you have to offer. So you want to make sure that's there. And make sure, again, that it works on all web browsers and mobile devices. and that everything works right. If you want people to download something, make sure it works. If you want them to check out online or they're purchasing something, you have an e-commerce site, make sure it works. Okay. If you're offering content like a blog or video, so make sure it's good, interesting content that's of interest to your target audience. Okay. A bad UX, bad user experience will cost you sales. Okay, this is an example of a client. She's a nonprofit, and their objective was to recruit, or is to recruit, volunteers as individuals or teams to help and with different projects and stuff. However, their concept is a bit different. So she applied and she qualified for Google nonprofit ad grants, and it's been working. Okay, the dark blue was January, and the light blue in December. Okay, so obviously we increased their reach and clicks to the website, and so the average conversion rate. This is average, so each industry is going to be a little bit different. So the average conversion rate, it's 2 to 5%. Okay, so in January she got 11 signups. Obviously the people were going to the website. The problem was that the website was too confusing. There were too many places to click. There was no video explaining how they work and why they are different. I told her to do a video and put it on the front page. She said, I don't have anybody to help me with it. So fast forward to March, and they still don't have a video. And when looking at the February stats, the site had over 3,700 new visitors. They more than doubled their visitors, but they still were not converting. I told her she was throwing away 3,000 leads a month. She needs to grab her phone and do an informal video until she can get a more professional one done. If she stops running the ads, she loses the grant. Okay, so this is how important this is, to make sure you've got the right message and your website works. All right, so continuing with the UX. Now think of your website as a place where potential customers can enter through several doors. So what experience does each entry have for them? Okay, so there's 3 ways a visitor can enter your website: home, or the front page, or another static page like about or products or services. Okay, usually this is from the search engine. So they're searching for what it is that you do, and your site comes up and they click on it. Or it could be a blog article. Okay, so the blog page is going to look a little bit different than your static pages, your about products or services. And they work a little bit, they work differently. So they came in, they saw an article that was of interest to them with some advice or whatever, and they clicked on over to it. Or a designated landing page. Okay, and I'll explain what a landing page is, but this is specifically, it's just a special offer on that page. Okay, so again, you want to again look at each of those user experiences and see how they are. Look at your website analytics also. Now these need to be set up on your website, and Google Analytics is free. So you want to know how many visitors you get a month, where do they come from, what are the most popular posts, etc. So there's 4 ways a potential customer can find you. So one is the search engine. Obviously, they're going in there, they have a problem. How do I do this? Or how do I fix that? Or I need assistance with this, or they're asking a question, or they're looking for something. So you want to check your meta description. I know I have an article on my website that has more specifics on it. Now this is part of the search engine optimization. So the meta description is the paragraph that appears in the Google search results, or Bing or Yahoo, whichever one you're using. And that's really what helps you get the clicks. Because one thing is getting impressions, which means you're getting up on you're ranking on Google for whatever your keywords are. But the people aren't clicking through. So you're getting impressions. So people are seeing your listing on Google, but they're not clicking through. So that means that the title or the paragraph doesn't entice them enough to click on it. Okay, so that's one of the things. Test your SEO. So if your website has been up for at least a month, you can use a free tool called Uber Suggest. Okay, if it's brand new, you need to have at least a month worth of analytics and of posting and analytics and so again to be able to analyze it. Okay, and then they also come through a social post or ad. Okay, so you post it on social media, you write a blog article, you share it on all your social networks, and so they'll your analytics will tell you where they came from. Or they could have entered through another referrer, like a chamber of commerce or association, which that's a backlink. So they this would also be your not so much a post, but the your listing, your profile on Instagram or Facebook or LinkedIn that has your link in it, or you're a member of a chamber of commerce or the association, and there's a backlink from it. That will be, so that will come up as a referrer. Okay, and then directly, which they knew your web address. So they actually, like, they had a business card or they saw a flyer or something, and they actually knew your web address and they typed it in and they went. So that's a direct visit. Okay, so where are the people searching? What are people searching for these days? So you want to have phrases and keywords to know what people are searching for. So I like the Google Keyword Planner. I've been using that for years. I'm kind of grandfathered into it. If you've never used it before, it may be kind of hard to start it. It's part of their advertising program, Google Ads. It's free to use, but you need a Google account to use it. Now, I also have, in the PDF you're going to get of all the slides, you're going to get links. There'll be active links in there, so you can look at other keyword tools. That I have an article on some other keyword tools besides the Google Keyword Planner that you could try, and then just stick with whichever one works. In the Google one, you can enter 10 phrases or keywords, and these could be questions that you think people might ask. But what's really nice of it is then you'll get a list. Oh, and you also pick your geographic area. So if you're a local area, state, county, city, or country, or global, however you want it, you choose that geographic area. Okay, and so it's going to give you a list of first is going to show you how many monthly searches are for the phrases that you entered, and then it's going to give you other suggested phrases, and this is going to be like sometimes they give you 500 to 1,000 depending on the industry and the topic that you're searching for. So and so you want to find the ones, and you can download them as a spreadsheet and sort it. So you want to find the high monthly searches with low to medium competition. So that means that that not that many people are using that phrase or ranking for that phrase, or they're using that phrase in advertisements on Google Ads. Okay, so so that's what you want to look for when you're looking for key phrases. And you can use this keyword tool. Like I was doing SEO for a client of mine, and so I went and I searched. I did a Google. I just pulled up and it's put 3 phrases in there for their specific thing that they were wanting to advertise on this page. And so then I pulled up and I go, oh, that's interesting. All right, so I added that phrase in the meta description. I also put it in a couple of different places on the page. Okay, so this is what is called SEO copy. So this is bad or no SEO copywriting. So you will get low rankings on Google, getting impressions on the search engine results page. That's a SERP, search engine result page, but no clicks. It's a low click-through rate. So people are seeing your listing, but they're not clicking through. And then people visit your site and don't do anything. So they're not converting into a lead or a sale. So the trick is to write for the human reader, write for your target audience, okay, but with the search engine in mind. Okay, so you don't want to, and always good grammar. So you don't want to do keyword stuffing. That was a popular thing to do back when I started, back in the day. Okay, they used to do stuff keywords and put it in a different color, so you didn't the same color as the background, so you didn't see them, but Google sees them. Google sees everything, right? So Google knows everything. And so that is what's called black hat tactics. All right, so that's one of the things that you want to make sure that your SEO on your website. So this could be your static pages, it could be your blogs, it could be your landing pages, whatever it is. Okay, so SEO copywriting. So good SEO copywriting will get your website high enough on the Google search results page above your competition, because that's the other thing. We'll talk about that in a minute. And again, entice the searcher, your potential customer, to click on the listing. And then on your website, you want the visitor to convert from a visitor to a lead or a sale. And I was helping my client with his website, and I put 2 call to action buttons, one in the top right and one at the bottom of the page. So once a person has read what he has to offer, they can decide, okay, here, I want to book an appointment with him. And it goes right to his booking system. You know, don't make people hunt for what you want them to do. Okay. And this is a new service that I'm offering. It's an SEO copywriting service. So it includes SEO competitor research, keyword research, on-page optimization, editing existing copy, new pages, the copy for new pages, social media optimization, and I also have e-commerce optimization. So obviously, if you have an e-commerce site and you're selling products, each of the products description has to be optimized for the search engine, but it also has to sell the product. Okay, so it takes a little maneuvering and moving words around and using a thesaurus, or getting synonyms for other words other ways of saying the same thing to get it to work. Okay, and you can visit my website and get a free consult if you are interested. All right, I mentioned competition. Okay, so you need to research your competition. Who are you up against? Okay, what are they doing? What makes you different? How many followers do they have? How often are they blogging or posting? What is their message? What are their calls to action? Okay, whatever they're doing, you have to do it more often and better. Okay, and I worked with a gentleman that opened up a rage room here in Tempe, Arizona, near the university. And this was a room where people could go and break stuff to relieve anxiety, anger, frustrations, etc. And he was the first one in Arizona, the whole state of Arizona. Okay, that lasted maybe about a year and a half. All of a sudden, there was somebody in Tucson, then somebody else opened up in also in the East Valley in Chandler. And I met the other a few weeks ago. I met one that opened up in North Phoenix. Okay, so he did not have the luxury of being the only one for very long. Okay, so. And I'm watching Shark Tank the other night, and somebody saying, he goes, "Oh, have you had copy? People copy your thing," and I was like, "Yes," but we have the patent, but someone's going to see it's a good idea. Oh, I can do that too, and copy you. So you want to be careful with that. You always want to keep tabs on your competition. Then trust and credibility. Okay, another big item. So a reason potential customers don't convert may be lack of trust and credibility. And you need to build that trust and credibility because people buy from whom they know and trust. This hasn't changed. We know in today's world, a reputation can be lost in seconds. Okay, so how do you build your online image? By participating and building relationships, being active on the social networks, creating and sharing content that shows you are an authority in your industry or field and that you care. Okay, also be transparent. This is a huge thing now with so many fake accounts out there. Okay, so people want to know who is behind the business. So make sure your LinkedIn personal profile is set up and it's up to date with current headshot as well as your company listing, which should be branded well, look like an extension of your website. In fact, all your social media profiles should look like extensions of your website. So ask Happy Camper clients to provide reviews on Google, Facebook, and Yelp. So that's what's called social proof. And I have an article, it'll be in the PDF, so you can check out more details on what social proof is. Okay, here's another problem. Now, I mentioned landing pages. Okay, so A landing page is your selling page. And what happens sometimes is you're using the same template as the rest of your website and you've got too many choices, which that's basically what happened with my nonprofit. There was too many things there for the person to look at. So the ideal solution for her would have been a landing page with a video explaining, okay, this is what you, this is how we do it and what it is we're doing and why we're doing it and our passion and so on and so forth. Okay, here, join up. Okay, it's free to join, and if you have the time to volunteer, this will help you do it. Really simple video explaining it would then just get them on the list, and then you can explain details and so on and so forth, or whatever the next step is going to be. Okay, make sure the message solves the prospect's problems or pain points. Offer one offer per landing page. Okay. Explain everything, including if they'll be joining an email list, how often they will get emails from you. Make that clear, but don't be too wordy. Okay, no navigation. Okay, no distractions. Before I started my business, I was working for a trade publication. I was in charge of the subscribers to it. And because it was a special, specific for the trade, every year they produced a report, an annual report of the industry. Okay, and this was so I had to was part of my job was to send out emails and to sell this report. So we had another gal that did the website, that managed the website. And so she did a page, but the thing is that she kept it with all of the other things that were on the website. So I was like, well, people are clicking from the email to the page, but they're not buying. Why is that? So one of the things is that, oh, they had all this other stuff to look at, and then they forgot why they were there in the first place. Simply that. So you want to make sure that your landing page doesn't have the navigation. So now whether you're on WordPress or one of the other site builders, there's ways to do that, to not have the navigation on there, to remove the menus on certain ones. So you just want one call to action with no distractions, and then an easy to fill out form with no more than 2 or 3 questions. Okay, and then make sure it works. Test, test, test. Okay. You want a highly visible call to action, CTA. Okay, so whatever you want the visitor to do, your call to action to be the first thing that they see when they land on any of your website pages, whether it's a static page or a blog article. Make it easy for the visitor to do what you want them to do. Don't make them work. Okay, so put your call to action at the end of every blog post and page. Don't forget your sidebar and footer. Okay, so I always like to have the sidebar on the blog page because that's one that they kind of coming into the side door. But you want your calls to action there. You want them to stay in your website as much as possible. So you want them to see that you've done other articles and other topics in that industry. Okay. Another call to action favorite thing are pop-ups. Personally, I hate them. Okay, I land on somebody's site because I wanted to read an article, and up comes this little pop-up. Okay, I don't even bother reading it because I want to read the article. Okay, so the best place, in my opinion, to put the pop-ups is when somebody's either scrolled down all the way to the bottom of the article or almost to the bottom of the article, or when they're leaving the page. Wait, don't go. Check this out. We're having a webinar or seminar, or you got to get this free download. And then they decide. But as soon as it pops up, and I'm looking at the articles on my tablet, and the stupid pop-up takes up the whole page, and then I got to go look for the X or a close or whatever, so it's like, no. So, so again, the user experience. All right. Another problem is no follow-up. So this is how everything works together. Okay, so it starts with your content. So this could be a blog, video, podcast, or a gallery providing the fresh material that Google is looking for. Plus, you want to become a content magnet. So, I mean, people won't follow you on social media unless you're putting out content. So you promote your content on the social networks and you engage with your potential customers on social media. And that's the formula. Content plus social media gives you search engine optimization or traffic to your website. Now, given that, you must have those calls to action, and your website needs to be set up to capture those leads. Okay, now if you're an e-commerce site, you want people to buy, right? So you've got really two types of customers. You want the ones that okay, I'm convinced that you've got what I need, I'm going to buy it, okay, or I'm going to order it, whatever, you know, or I still need a little bit more convincing. All right, so if I want to order a product, how soon am I going to get it? Okay, where are you shipping from? Do you have it in stock? Okay, what are reviews on your products or service? Okay, if what's your return policy? You know, so it's all things that you need to make sure you've got, you know, on your website, and especially if you're e-commerce and you want somebody to buy right from your website. If they're not ready to buy, then you want them to download something or a freebie, or you know, or get, you know, X off your first order, or here's a free ebook for you explaining the benefits of doing this, and whatever. And so that, you know, captures the lead. So you want to convert the visitor into a lead with that enticing offer. And then you want to put them into an email automation system or a drip campaign to nurture them into a sale. All right, so this is where many hot and warm prospects fall through the cracks: lack of follow-up. Okay, so you want to take a look at what are those emails that they're getting, the thank you page that, you know, or the email that they get with whatever it is that they signed up for. If they're going to be added to a newsletter, so make sure that they know that your newsletter is going to go out every week, every other week, once a month, however it is, so they know how much email to expect from you and what's included. What are the benefits of my subscribing to your newsletter? What am I going to get? That's always what you have to think about, because that's what they're thinking. What's in it for me? How are you helping me? So that's the message that you always want to get out. So email marketing. So you have programs like MailChimp and Constant Contact have what's called automations. So your sign up form can ask 2 or 3 questions. Okay, that helps segment your list. For instance, I was working with a gentleman who had, or still has, online parenting classes. Okay, so obviously a parenting class for little kids is going to be different than parenting class for teenagers. So that's one of the things he needed to know as people were signing up for the free webinar. Okay, so how many kids do you have and what are their ages? Because obviously if somebody has, you know, kids that are, you know, 11 and up, you're not going to send them, you know, a promo email for 5 to 6 year olds, you know. So so that's where you segment your list, and you can personalize the emails, the follow-up emails that they get. And that's the key. So based on their answers, you personalize the email drip campaign. Obviously, the first thing they're going to get is a welcome or thank you link to whatever you offer them via the website, and an email. So you want to make sure that they get that download, or they get the free coupon, or whatever it is that they signed up for. In 1 or 2 days, you want to follow up with a video. Okay, and you know, explaining what it is that you do, based on obviously their question. And this is again something you can automate. So if they watch the video, then that would trigger an email that has an offer, okay, based on whatever that video was. And if they didn't watch the video, then maybe you need to send them another video. Okay, so you can set that up with if-then things on your automation software. Again, either MailChimp or Constant Contact. Most of the email programs have them. So that's one of the things you want to make sure that you do to keep them in there. And then do a newsletter. So at least once a month with excerpts of your most recent blog articles. Okay, and you just want to do an excerpt that says, click here to read more, to get them back into the website. Okay, because if the more people visit your website, the better the chances they're actually going to do something. So that's that's what's important. Rather than putting the whole article in email, you want to get them back over to their website. Okay, this is what's called a conversion funnel. So this is like the buying. In other places they'll call it the buying journey. Okay, so first you get the prospect's attention, or it's called also the discovery phase. So not, again, like I said before, not everyone's ready to buy right away. You don't have an impulse shopper. Those are cool. I mean, they're in there, especially if they've been recommended by somebody. Okay, that could be somebody that just goes to your website, for the first time and says, "Oh, perfect, let's do it." Go. But not everybody who discovers you will become a customer. So then they show interest. So that's when they look at more than one page on your site. They'll check out your social media. They'll look for reviews. And they still need a little bit more convincing. They may join your newsletter list or download the ebook or whatever your offer is. Then the desire, they've compared you to competition. They're deciding whether or whatever your offer is what they need or want, and that they can't afford it. Okay, so the final step is obviously taking action. Okay, then hopefully become a happy camper customer and become an advocate for you. So, that's usually how it works. Again, some people go through this faster than others, so it depends. This is just a generic conversion funnel. All right, so let's review the steps to effective marketing. First, define your target markets, your personas, more than one, if you have more than one. Then research. Okay, this is a key step that you can't afford to skip. So what are their social media habits? What keywords are they going to enter to the search box to find you? Then set some SMART goals. Okay, so an example of a SMART goal is 100 people to visit my website in the first month, in 30 days. Okay, so it's specific, it's measurable, attainable, realistic or relevant, and then time bound. Okay, so at the end of your first 30 days, you're going to see, okay, I got 150 people. Fantastic. Then what you're doing is working. Keep up the good work. Set your goal for the next month at 200 or 250. Okay, and then keep doing what you're doing. It's working. All right. Or you want conversions. Okay, so before you were only getting 11 conversions. Okay, so I want to up that. I want to get 100 conversions. Okay, so this is what I need to fix. I'm going to do this. Okay, and so then that's my goal for the next month. Okay, then your strategic plan is how you're going to meet these goals, and the tactical plan is how you're going to implement the strategy. Okay, within this is your marketing message. Okay, it's how often you're going to be posting on social media, how often you're going to write an article, how often are you going to do a video. Okay, then you want to set up and brand and optimize for the search engines. Okay, search engine optimization, the SEO. Okay, and have share and follow buttons on your website, so it makes it easy for people to follow you on social media. Okay, and learn how everything works and how to properly use the tools and how effectively to use the tools. Create and curate content. Okay, so you're going to create your own content. You're also going to share content from other trusted sources, like if you're in a specific trade or industry or field, and these are not competitors, but other people in your industry. You're going to share their content to our social media. And what this does is people start connecting the industry with you, and then this helps you become an expert or authority in that field or industry. And obviously creating the content, so these are your blog posts, your recorded videos, your podcasts, and then don't just share your stuff. So implement, engage, build a following, just do it. Okay, in the beginning, it's going to take you for the first 30 days about 90 minutes a day to build a following if you're starting from scratch. Okay, if you don't spend this time up front, it will take you longer to start seeing results. Afterwards, you can manage your social media in about 30 minutes a day with a lot of the free tools that are out there. And then get your marketing automation set up to entice those sales. And then, of course, monitor and measure monthly. Check your analytics and insights to see what's working and not working. Adjust your strategic and tactical plans accordingly. Obviously, what's worked, if it's working, you can keep doing what you're doing. If it's not working, okay, you got to go in there and maybe check the message, or maybe check your reach, or check your audience. Now you know where stuff can fall through cracks here. Now, regarding the website, okay, so, WordPress is the most popular website content management system, or CMS, that's out there. They have over 64% of the CMS market. It's very user-friendly, and I can teach you not only how to manage your WordPress website as well as blog effectively on the platform, but I can also help guide you to build your own WordPress website in a few days. This is a new service specifically for small business owners who find the cost of hiring a professional designer or developer out of reach. And this will benefit you if you're on Wix, Weebly, GoDaddy, Site Builder, or any of those site builders, and you're not getting traffic to your website because they tend to hinder SEO, or search engine optimization. Then you really want to get a self-hosted WordPress website. If you're on any of the free websites and you've outgrown them, okay, you want to add stuff to it what happens is on these free websites is they start nickel and diming you to death, so it's like, oh, if you want to get your own domain, then you pay this much for a year, and then you this much. Well, for way less than that, you host it, and then you have your own website that you can do whatever you want to it. You can customize it as much as you want. Get free plugins and free themes that are out there. And then also, if your website is built before July of 2019, you have an old WordPress site, you've not kept up with the Google Core Web Vitals updates. And I go into that in my SEO webinar, which I did a few weeks ago. And the link to that one will be in the email I send out with a video of this one and the PDF. So you can check out what that means. And you want to be found when potential clients are searching for what you have to offer. So you can click on over my website, get more information on this, schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation, and we can go over the site and I can discuss your options on that. And I also have the best guide if you want to learn how to do it all yourself. So this is a step-by-step, easy to follow, everything from goal setting to hashtags, which networks to focus on, how to beat the competition, how to drive traffic to your website, what type of content to create, strategies for each network, create your own customized and strategic tactical plans. And it's what you need to take your digital marketing to the next level. It is available on Amazon Kindle as an ebook. It's either on the Kindle Reader or the Kindle app. So you can read it on your computer or on a tablet. Again, I offer a free 15-minute phone consultation. You want to click on over my website and schedule that. And I also I just published what's going to be trending in October. So you can go check that out on my website. So that's a way to give you ideas for content. Okay, we're at the question time. Also at the end, the last slide here, I have a lot of articles for you. These are all live, so you can just click on those. So I will open it up now for questions, and I can go live and check out people's stuff. So please feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question. I threw a lot of stuff at you, so.
I know it's too much work. We really yes, I have a quick question. You mentioned the effectiveness of the videos, short videos, and I know they are very good. So what do you think about the PowerPoint presentations on our website?
Yes, absolutely. I mean, that's what I do. That's how I started doing them. And I'll do a screen recording too. But that'll work. That's another type of video, is a PowerPoint presentation with a voiceover.
Okay.
Yeah, and those are easier to do sometimes than having to set up a camera and everything in the background, all that stuff. You just do the PowerPoints. But absolutely, yes.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Okay. JM, what kind of business do you have? Jim or JM or Mr. Hamilton, Miss Hamilton? Incognito?
Yeah, I'm here. Set this computer up for the last minute. My microphone is actually down on the floor. I don't have my background set up on this computer. I'm quite intrigued with what you're doing, and I've been, in fact, I've been working with WordPress for a long time. I'm moving back to all digital products. I have something called the 100-Day Prosperity Plan. It's got 100% money back guarantee. And I just sent a newsletter out. And first off, I realized I didn't have the retail price in, so people didn't know how much it cost. All they knew about was the discount. So it means I didn't have a proper landing page, etc. And so just to begin, listening to you today has been really helpful. And it's hard for me to even carve out time to listen to these kinds of things, but what you're doing is exactly where I need to be spending time. So,
yeah, and it's always in the beginning. In the beginning, you always have to do put more, I call it sweat equity into it. But once you get you get more familiar with all the platforms, it's like learning another software program. And so as you get more familiar with the platforms, it'll take you less time to do what you need to do. And then once you discover what works for you, what type of posts, what types of videos and so forth, then just keep doing what you're doing, so just just change up a little bit for the seasons or whatever, and then just keep doing what you're doing. So it makes it a lot easier to get stuff done. But in the beginning, yes, it's going to take time in the beginning, but once that everything's going, and I use a tool called Sendable, which is a great scheduler. So you can schedule posts to go out to all of the social networks, and then you can repeat the posts too. So it just saves a lot of time. They have excellent analytics, so you don't have to go into each social media network. So the link will be on the email that you get. So you can check out Sendable. It's only like $29 a month, and it's so worth it. It just saves so much time. I was like, oh, it was just so worth it. And I was just so impressed with their analytics too. I mean, everything was right there. The best time to post when your followers are on, so they can actually see your post, how many people saw it, how many people clicked on it, how many comments you got and everything. So it's really excellent. It's an excellent tool. It's better than Hootsuite, better than I've used Buffer too, and I've tried other ones, and this is like the best tool out there to do that. And it's such a time saver. So yeah.
I'm going to ask you a quick question. I mean, so I heard what you said. Now, what I want to do is I want to dig into your material. I want to see the notes from this and whatever.
Okay.
But my immediate question is: are you using a green screen, or are you just doing?
This is a green screen. Yes,
okay.
This is a green screen. In fact,
okay.
There's my wall. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. See,
I'm going to be moving to a green screen soon.
Yeah. I actually have it taped up to my wall behind me. So
Pretty
yeah,
simple.
and So I created this. So yeah, it's a green screen. So you don't see the digital stuff behind you. Yeah. The background, and then you can also fade your background too. That's another option with that. But yeah, the green screen, and I love Zoom. I mean, I record interviews. Like I did one this morning with a gentleman, and it was great, and the video is excellent, and you just got to make sure your Wi-Fi is good, and that's it. You're done, and your lighting is good. Because obviously.
What are you using for a camera?
My laptop.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
My laptop camera. See, that's why I can move it like this, and see that's just the laptop.
Yeah.
The laptop camera. Yeah.
Well, I've just finished my rebranding. I see your brand, your social media whiz. So the kind of things you're talking about are the things I'm interested in.
Okay.
So I want to follow up with, when I say the freebies or what you deliver after this, and start looking. And I also want to see about
absolutely.
the book download. And so you've kind of gotten my attention. I did take.
How did you find out about this webinar? Just curious. How did you find out about the webinar?
I don't know if, I think I've actually been on your list for a long time. I've been out of Sedona for a very long time. And
Oh, okay.
so I've actually probably been on your list for a long time.
Okay.
I don't, and I also like the way you came in on the events on the, what was the, what's the event?
Eventbrite.
Yeah, Eventbrite, because
Yeah.
I've never mastered any of this stuff, and it's time to start mastering.
Yeah, I switched to that, and I love it because I get into their search engine thing. So people searching within their system. So I've gotten people from other countries from them too, and they automatically create the event on Facebook, and it makes it really easy to keep track of everybody and everybody to sign up and that. So and I love it, and I automate the reminders. I don't have to think about it. So it's I love it. It's been. Yeah, so I've been using it since August. That's when I started, beginning of August.
Well,
So,
it
yeah.
works. It's a clear entry into what becomes a Zoom activity. So, so I like what you're doing. I'm glad I took the time. I do have, I'm just launching. I went from a $12,000 physical product to just digital because I need to build my big digital audience so I can then deliver my $12,000 product, which is a physical
cool.
thing.
Cool.
And it's all advanced, high-end consciousness, and that kind of thing.
Okay.
So I'm appreciative of being here and spending time. Now, will there be a video of this or just
yes, it is being recorded. Yes.
Well, that's great.
Yeah. So
That's
yeah, you
great.
should be getting it later this afternoon. So yeah, and you'll be added to if you are not on my email list, you'll be added to the list. You're updated, and this will be on my YouTube channel too. So yeah, and
Well, I would say time well spent.
Oh,
Today's
glad.
Thursday,
Really
time
glad.
well spent.
Okay. Any other questions?
I have some.
Okay, go ahead, Laura.
I love your graphics that you use in your presentations. Do you use a particular source for them?
Oh, some of them I've had for ages. Yeah, a former kind of strategic partner of mine had one, but I use Pixabay for a lot of the stock ones, and then I do some creating with Canva.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But Canva's great. It's free and it has a lot of templates that you can use. In fact, so I have the YouTube thumbnail because it's really important if you're going to do videos that you want that thumbnail is kind of your marketing piece on them. So you want that to be really nicely branded and they've got the exact size and everything. So you just go in there, create it. You can upload graphics to it. You can use some of the templates and things they have. They do have an upgrade, but I've been using it for free and it's fine. You know? So
I had the paid version in it, and I was just like, I can do all this in the free. So
you can do videos, you can do animations, and that was really cool when they added that, because the thing is that with so much content that's out there, when you do animations or videos, any motion catches people's eyes as they're sifting and sorting through and scrolling and all this through their social media, so it makes it more eye-catching. And I'm also going to do a branding one coming up. I have to dig that one out of the archives because color is very important.
Yes.
Okay. Especially the logo. You get yellow. Your yellow, red, and orange are the most eye-catching colors, and they red and orange also they build a sense of urgency. So that's why you see, and it also builds your appetite. That's why you see red in a lot of restaurants. Yes. Because it's
McDonald's.
Your appetite, and it absolutely. Yeah. And so you want this. So I like using yellow a lot. For my headlines, and then the orange and red for your call to action buttons, so like buy now, download now, those calls to action, you want them to I like them either yellow or red, so that's still the standard with white, yellow or red backgrounds with white lettering. That's the standard on that.
Okay, I have a couple copywriting questions. Because by watching and not doing screenshots, I was able to get a lot of questions down. So
Okay.
you mentioned some copywriting resources that help you with copywriting if you're not a good writer. I mean, I would love help.
Check your public library. Since you're in Texas, I'm going to say go to Phoenix Public Library, but because you have to be a member of the library to access their stuff. But they actually have copywriting classes on there. So check your public library. So you're in Dallas, so you should have a fairly nice, decent library system over there.
Oh yeah, we do.
Yeah. So it's part of the digital training or something. So whatever ours keeps changing the name of that section, but I saw they even have WordPress in there too. So you might find some WordPress classes, and they're all free.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
But it's a talent and a skill both, because you need to be creative, and then for me, what I used, it was a book. I forgot even the name of it. Something like Writing That Sells or something like that. And so I have this is my cheat sheet book. So I have transition words. I have the power words, and so I need a word, and then of course it's the thesaurus, but old-fashioned thesaurus. That's another way to say that. Yeah, exactly. And then one of the other tools I use is the headline analyzer by CoSchedule. Yes, a CoSchedule is called it. Let me see if I have that. Hold on. I can put that in the chat. And put it in the chat. So it's a free headline tool. They have an upgraded version, but I've been using it for so long. Yeah, you get familiar with which of the words that work, and sometimes in the it'll tell me like, I got an 84 score. I don't need to make it any better. I like it. I'm not gonna, I don't have time to fuss with it, but so because I've gotten so good with pulling the right words to it, so I know the scores it'll give me already. But I just put it into the chat. But it's an interesting tool, because it'll tell you what power words are, and to have a good mixture of words, and so you have emotional words and power words. Mm-hmm. So that's it. And then and then when as you're writing, and your call to action is action words. So get, grab,
yes,
things like that. Get your spot now. Only again, and then the FOMO, fear of missing out. Yeah. So that when you look at it, that's how the world works. That's the world works on the fear of missing out. That's it. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah. So like you have something that you can help contractors. So you're going to say, okay, you're missing out on this and this.
Actually, that's what I used a tagline generator. And I first came up with get the money you're entitled to. And then but then I kept hearing my colleague that works in construction, he kept saying, don't leave money on the table. And he said that a couple times. And so I've started using, that's what I'm doing now with my headline on LinkedIn. Don't leave money on the table. Get the money you're entitled to. And that's really helped.
Yeah. Because people want to make money, like, and Mr. Hamilton, that's your thing. They want to make money. They want to get money. They want to find money. They want to keep money.
That's right. That's right. So.
That's still what makes the world click around here, so yeah.
Okay, 2 more questions. These are my best 2 here. How do I find industry influencers to follow and copy?
Again, that would probably be LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, do you type in construction?
Yeah. Either use hashtags or use the industry, and then click on people, and then see who comes up. And okay, thanks, Jasmine. Thanks for being on.
Okay.
and yeah, and then follow them, see what groups they belong to on LinkedIn, also in the groups too, see who the owners of the groups are and who are the most active posters there, so you can check them out. And if you join the group, that could be a way to request a connection on LinkedIn. It's like, hey, we're both members of XX group.
Right. I've been using that.
Yeah, and so you can start connecting with them, and then asking them their opinion on things like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then let's see. Okay, now you gave me an idea while you were talking through the social media channels. So obviously my target, ideal persona, men in the construction business, although there's lots more women now, which I love.
Right. It's all, you always get to the husband and wife teams.
Exactly. And
Yes.
what I was thinking is because, you didn't mention it, but I often take into account the life of the post or how long it's going to be there. Because you mentioned Twitter is just like gone in 15 minutes, right?
Right.
But the life of a Pinterest pin is months. And
absolutely, yes.
So I'm
absolutely.
like, I could do that, because a lot of times people will, I'll be talking to another woman and she goes, my brother-in-law does that. He needs your services, right? And so I'm like, oh my gosh, I could just make a few pins and have them be gorgeous, right? And put them on Pinterest and let them circulate for months and months and months.
Right.
And because it's the long-term life.
And usually either that or the husband and wife team, the wife is usually the one that does their marketing and does the books.
Yes.
While the husband is out. I know, I had a client like that too. So yeah.
But they make the fiercest guard dogs, though. They are the fiercest gatekeepers.
That's true too. That's true too. Wow. Yeah. And one of the ideas that I gave this client is using Pinterest for when they're talking to, and obviously for their portfolios, okay? And then when they're talking to a client, okay, so which type of, you want to redo your kitchen? Are you looking for modern? Are you looking for, French country? And so on Pinterest, he has all of a board for, for each style of kitchen design and that he's done. And so, okay, so this is what a modern, all metal shiny looks like, and here's French country, and here's another whatever, and they're flipping through it, and that's so that's that's a great tool for them to use when they're talking to a customer, and also to showcase their stuff. So you can actually do that as a tip for them, which has nothing to do with what you do, but it may catch their attention.
No, but I use that that same thing when I'm talking to prospective clients. I ask them, so what are you going to buy with all your money that's going to come in? You're going to buy a boat, you're going to take a vacation. And I get them dreaming about the future event when they've used the service and it's been successful. So what are you going to do with all that money?
Yeah. And if you can say, well, like Geico Insurance, you've seen their ads. So save up to $750, a month, and all of a sudden you have, okay, that's $750 more I'm going to have in my pocket. So you actually, you give them an about, I always say approximately, up to, or, whatever, so they actually have that amount in their heads when they go there. I mean, that's how Geico became famous, so that's
15 minutes.
15 minutes to save,
can save you $500 or something.
Exactly, something like that. Yeah. So using a catchphrase like that, to do something.
Thank
Okay.
you.
almost at the end here. Yeah, I love brainstorming. It's a lot of fun.
That's fun.
Yeah. So, okay. Okay, so I'll be sending out the stuff later this afternoon, and if you have any other questions, just email me back, or just go through my website and search for stuff in there too. So, all right, thanks for being on, we'll see you soon in the next one.
All righty, take care.
Thanks so much.
Bye. You're welcome.
Thank you for watching. If this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to her channel. Then, click on over to the AZ Social Media Wiz website to download the free Define Your Target Market Workbook or schedule a free 15-minute phone consultation and review of your marketing efforts.